everyone. My name is Brenda Gutierrez, and I'm with the Indiana Latino Institute. Thank you for joining us for today's webinar. This is the first session in our Trade School webinar series, and we are so excited to kick it off. We're especially grateful to be partnering with Vincennes University to make this happen. Today, we're highlighting opportunities in aviation and skilled trades. We're joined by Benjamin Brown, who will walk us through his program and answer the 5 W's.
Hello, guys. How are you doing? This is Ben Brown from Vincennes University, and we're right here in Indianapolis for all you guys that may be wondering, because there is a Vincennes in Vincennes, Indiana, but we're right here in Indianapolis, right behind the airport. And this school is for you. I'm looking for 21st century scholars and students that are interested in taking things apart, putting them back together. My Lego kids, all those kids that like to work with their hands. And so I'm trying to identify you out here and find you. You can go to the next slide. One of the areas I've been really concerned about is that our students are into the aviation maintenance side. And so we teach you how to work on planes, the same skills work on trains, the same skills work on high performance cars. Next, this page right here. So we learn HVAC, welding, sheet metal, hydraulics, brakes, pneumatics, computers, painting, electrical wiring, plumbing, engines, and 35 more skills. We're going to teach you all these skills in just a matter of 18 months. And so 18 months is a certification where you'll receive your certification. You'll be licensed, okay, for this field. That means you can work on planes. If you stay another 4 months, which would make it 22 months, you can receive an associate's degree. People working with their hands right now are making way more money than they used to. When I was in high school, I wanted to work on engines, small engines, and then I went electrical. And then my senior year, I wanted to get that 3-hour block in electrical. And my counselor told me, now, Ben, you know you're going to college, so you don't need this. And what she was kind of saying was, you know, if you're going to college, they kind of look down on the trades. But I want you to know trades are making a lot more money now. And so more people are able to enter the trades and gain access to the financial dreams that they wanted to achieve. Next slide.
Yeah, Ben, I think that's amazing that you're highlighting the importance of there are other options besides going to college. And I think trade schools and working hands-on is a really great opportunity for them. So thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, so people are going into electrical, they're going into heavy equipment operation, and so I'm promoting aviation maintenance, but there are other pathways. I don't want you sitting in the seat playing video games all day and being a slow launcher. You can go to the next slide. I have kids all the time that tell me they want to go to the pros, and it's very hard to make the pro teams. So there are only 2,500 spots for football players. There's only 550 spots for basketball players. Only 145 spots for ladies that are going into the WNBA. And so I can't make you a pro athlete, but I can make you a pro aviation mechanic. Go to the next slide. These three right here, this kid on the left here, that's Andre Owens. I coached for almost 20 years in football, and he's the only guy I had go pro. The lady in the middle, I talked to her junior and senior year. She could dribble the ball as good as any boy, and she was quite a shooter. And she ended up being like 6'3". And then the guy on the end with the football there, that was my high school quarterback. Those are the people that I know that went pro that I had a lot of time with. And so it's very hard to go pro in anything, soccer, baseball, football, basketball. And so, but I can make you a pro mechanic. You can go to the next slide. And so we're producing aircraft mechanics at a very young age. 19 and 20-year-olds are going out here and being able to participate in the big world of aviation, working on planes, different aircraft, and they're making grown folk money is what I call it. Our mechanics are starting at about $28 to $30 an hour. And then over time, by year 5, they're making over $100,000 a year. Okay, so if a kid starts with in this program, they can make between $1,500 and $1,600 a week. Okay, and that'll equal somewhere around $80,000. Okay, so young people at 20 years old can get this kind of money and start living out their dreams. Next slide.
So just by completing this program, that would be the starting rate for them?
The starting rate would be between $28 and $30 an hour.
Oh,
Okay,
wow.
and so these kids are going to get like 3 to 4 job offers when they get offered. And so they'll have to choose. And so they'll be around $28 to $30 an hour. There are some jobs that start at $39 an hour.
Mhm.
But if they can just get their foot in the door, their seniority starts as soon as they start putting in time.
Okay, wow,
Okay.
thank you.
Then I want you to know that we have class over here at the school, okay? So the class part is traditional in the morning. You'll get a lecture and you'll talk about things in the field. We have these classes for 8 weeks. You have two classes for 8 weeks. We meet from 8 to 2:30. We go to class Monday through Thursday. Okay. We try to be 50-50 between bookwork and hands-on training. Okay. And so most of our kids, they're not the greatest students as far as like regular school. In regular school, you have like 5 subjects you're studying. We don't do that at this school. You have two classes. One meets on Monday and Wednesday, the other one meets on Tuesday and Thursday. And that's all you're going to talk about is aviation stuff. Okay. And so more kids are able to participate this and find it a little more interesting than just, like regular school where you have 6 or 7 subjects and you're learning them all at once. We're staying with aviation, and that's what we're sticking with. Okay. Hands on in the afternoon, bookwork in the morning. And we try not to have too much homework, but you do have to study. Okay. Next slide. Next one. Most of you don't know this. Your parents protect you from this. But when you get out of your mother's house, father's house, there's that big whopping 2,200 to 3,500 a month that you have to pay in bills. And so you need to make sure that you have a job that can pay those types of bills. Now, before you go cussing out mom and dad, you're going to need them for a little longer, okay? And so, but these are the realities. You're going to have to pay rent somewhere. You're going to have to buy a car. You're going to need food. You're going to need insurance. You're going to need a phone. It's not going to be a toy anymore. It's going to be a tool. And you have to buy clothes. And so between 2,200 and 3,500 is what you're going to need. So you need a job that can pay for that. Next slide. I don't want anybody out here broke. There's no excuse. Okay. For you young people, you're going to need a lot more money than I did and Miss Brenda needed. Okay. And so the way you do that is you attack it by the shortcut is education. Hard work will always get you there, but the shortcut is getting a specialized skill. And that's why I'm telling you about the trades. Okay. And so if you have a specialized skill, most of the trades, by the time you reach 4 years in or 5 years in, most of our trades, electrical, plumbing, all those trades, you start getting $42 an hour at 5 years in. Okay. Now I'm going to promote my thing because I can get you to 70,000 quicker than anybody else, but you will not lose being in a trade. So you can be financially free. You can have money. You can have a good job. Next slide. Not only do I not want you to be broke, I don't want you to be in a dead end job. There are some people that are going to work jobs for 10 years and they only get 50-cent raise maybe in 5 years to 10. They could be making the same money they started off with for 10, 20 years. Okay. It's not like that in this field of study. Okay. And so in all of our trades, they give you a raise. Okay. Every year you get a raise. Okay. And so I want to make sure that you know you're going to get a raise until you get up to a comparable pay that can take care of buying a house, buying cars, taking care of children, putting kids in private school. You can afford all that. Okay. Next slide. In our field of study and in the other trades, you'll have a chance to build wealth while you're in your 20s. I can't stress to you enough how it took me till I was 38 to make 73,000. And you'll be able to make 73,000 at 20. At 21, you'll be able to make that. So it took me till I was 38, almost 20 years after I graduated, I started making 73,000. But really what should have been happening was if I had made that money earlier, I would have been able to buy a house earlier. I didn't get to buy a house till I was 31. In this type of program and in the trades, you'll be able to buy a house at 21, 22, you'll be able to buy a house. And so the sooner you get into investing your money in a home, in the stock market, in precious metals, in stamps, buying old comic books that are worth money, being able to buy apartment complexes and all that kind of stuff. The sooner you get that started and start building wealth, the better off you're going to be. And so you can do that with the trades. Okay. And so, like I said earlier, if someone goes into the electrical field right at 18, by 23, they'll be making $42 an hour. If they come into our field, you have to just give me a year and a half of commitment and you'll be making in the $30 an hour range. Okay. And so the thing that makes the difference is if you're able to build wealth in your 20s, it's going to make it way easier when you're 35 and when you're 40. And so you have to start about thinking about the older you right now and planning right now about how you want to live. And so I don't want you stuck like Chuck. I want you to be able to have money be able to go to some games, be able to participate to everything that's going on in this great city of Indianapolis. We have the All-Star game coming. We have the Colts here. We have the Pacers. We have a soccer league that's coming here, that'll do it on a professional level. So you want to be able to participate in these games, be able to watch it in your home. You want to be able to do that. You don't want to be working all the time. Our guys have schedules like 4 days on, 3 days off, 3 days on, 4 days off. Some of them work 5 days on, 5 days off, 2 days on, 2 days off. Some of them work 3 days on, 2 days on, 2 days off, 2 days on, 3 days off. So our guys really work about 14 days a week, unless you're in a job where they require more. And most of them only work 4 days a week, maybe 5 days a week. Some of these job weekends are off. Some of them pay double time on Sundays, okay? And so you'll have an opportunity to make money. You'll have an opportunity to have time off to spend with your family. You also, if you work for the airlines, you have you have a flight benefit. That means you get to fly for free or cheap. That means your mom and dad get to fly for free or cheap. That means your siblings get to fly for free or cheap. That means your girlfriend or boyfriend gets to fly for free or cheap. How can you beat this industry? That's why I want you guys to get signed up now. Over at Rolls Royce, there are 800 skilled laborers, 600 are at retirement age right now. Okay, and so I want you to get these opportunities for the next 10 to 15 years. We're going to have a shortage in this industry. So this is a great time to get in this industry right now. You can go to the next slide.
Ben.
So this is a Cessna 172, back at one. The Cessna 172 is a perfect opportunity to get uh, some hustle money. So we have these planes in our building, and the owners pay 500,000 for these planes, brand new. Used, they cost 70,000. But we have these planes in our building, and you'll work in teams to fix on this plane, and so you'll know the engine of this plane backwards and forwards. And so you'll work on it. They'll take it apart, put it back together about 3 times. Okay, and so it's going to be a great deal. Let's go to the next slide. The engine is a 6-cylinder engine. It's a horizontal six instead of a V6. And so for you guys that already have some car engine experience, that is going to help. And so if you can't get to me until after you graduate, then what you want to do is take auto mechanics, because it's very similar to what we do with the Cessna 172. You're going to work in groups on this engine. You'll take this engine all the way apart, and then you'll assemble it back together, but you'll do it in groups. Let me see the next slide here. All right. And so in this picture, we're emphasizing that you work with groups and you have the professor close to you. Okay. So the professor's always there and you're always working in groups. Next slide.
So do have a question for you, Ben. So the students, from what point do they start working on projects like this? Is it like from the first class, or do they have to wait a certain amount of time to really get into the hands-on portion of it?
So they're going to your first class will be safety and regulations. And so in the morning class, you're doing you're doing book work, and then in the afternoons you're doing hands-on training. And so they're always going to try to find something for you to do, for you to get your hands on the tools and get your hands on equipment,
Gotcha.
because most of our guys do not like regular school, and so they like to put their hands on stuff. And so that's the reason why we try to be 50-50 between hands-on and book learning. So
Okay,
hands-on
awesome.
training and book learning.
Awesome. It's good to know that from the first class, they'll get some hands-on experience.
Yeah, so they have to wait about 8 weeks, but the first 8 weeks they will do some things with the planes. At least look at something with a flashlight, maybe talk about weights and balances, those kind of things. But once they get into electrical, they're really putting together and assembling things. And so I put this page in to let people know that we are always looking for young women to come into this field. Now, this field has been 97% white male, but we're trying to change that. Okay, women make better mechanics than men. Okay. And so a lot of people don't know that. Hand dexterity, following the rules, reading the books. Okay. So that makes our young women, young ladies, sometimes better mechanics than boys. But you're not told this because our society is trying to push men forward. But we're taking men, we're taking women, we're taking everyone. Okay. Because you might find out you really like this, and this is a high paying job. Okay. We can go to the next slide. Now, all these planes and that helicopter, our students are going to learn how to work on all of this. And so that big 737 there, you're going to learn how to work on um, hydraulics. You're going to learn how to work on the engine on it. You're going to be able to check things out on that plane. Okay, you'll be looking at some of the instruments in it. The Cessna 172s that are in front of us, okay, the ones that are closer to us, they'll have engines mounting over here, and you'll take off the magneto. You'll take off there's two magnetos on it. You'll take off the spark plugs. You'll be putting those back in, and you have to make sure that the plane works. So they will have you. They will put a bug in these engines, and you have to start them up. So you have to diagnose it. You'll do this in teams. Okay. Then you'll learn how to work on that helicopter that's over on that far side. That requires diesel fuel, but you'll learn how to work on that in groups. Okay. And so we're always doing group work. We're always putting our hands on. Okay. So in the morning, you'll get the lecture. Then in the afternoon, you'll be hands on. All right. You can go to the next slide. I put this slide in because this is from the Bureau of Labor. And so most of our kids, when they start out, they're making either 28 or $30 an hour. And so with 10 hours of overtime, they can make between $1,500 and $1,600 for a week. Okay, so that equals in the $80,000 range. And so I put this in here because our kids are getting 28 to $30 an hour. They're raising up to $30 an hour quickly. And when they get $30 an hour, they're able to make 1,600 a week. If they make $28 an hour with just 10 hours overtime, they'll make 1,500 a week. Okay, you can go to the next slide. Now, these airlines come in to get our kids. That means our kids do not go out trying to find a job. These airlines come in to come get our kids. So Republic Airways comes in, SkyWest comes in, V2X comes in. Sometimes we have people from Southwest come in. Okay, and so these guys come in and they come in and try to get our kids. So they will do a presentation like I'm doing before you right now, and then at the end, kids come down and talk to them, and they encourage them to apply to the job. They encourage them to put their name next to as a reference, and so I haven't seen anything like it because the way I was raised, you had to go up and, you got out of school, you had to go apply to places, you had to really put your feet to the ground. Here, the jobs come inside our building and they try to recruit you. Next slide.
That's a very job in high demand, number one, but what percentage would you say of students leave your program already having a job?
All of them are going to have a job. I put these guys in here because the guy kind of in the middle, the heavier guy there with the dark shirt on, that was my first student in this program that I got in here. And so in 2016, he got into Vincennes University. The guy next to him with that lighter blue shirt on, that's one of his classmates. These two guys that came out of poverty and now they're super successful.
Oh,
And so
wow.
usually I show kids a check from the guy there in the gray shirt with the red shoes on. He's making $3,200 a week when he wants to, okay? And so his rate is $45 an hour, but he is able to make with 55 hours of overtime, 55 hours a week, he can make 3,200 a week, okay? Then the guy with the lighter blue shirt on, that guy's making $70 an hour with Federal Express, okay? So they work overtime, so he can bring home checks of $4,000 a week. Now, some people will say, well, Brown, you overemphasize money. But let me just tell you, you're going to need more money than I had. Okay. And so it's not going to be enough to stay at $80,000. That'll be great when you're 20, but you have to start thinking about the older you. You got to start thinking about the 30-year-old you, the 35-year-old you, the 40-year-old you. Okay. And so I don't want to emphasize money, overemphasize money, but you're going to have to work somewhere out here. And it's better if you're making money than not making money. Then on my right here, there's a young man there. He just got hired last year from this program. He came right out of the program, made $42 an hour. That means he's going to make 120,000 on his first year. He's a Puerto Rican fellow, okay? And so his name is Victor. Victor came through here, did his work, ended up at GE Aviation in Lafayette. He's making $42 an hour. The gentleman standing next to him with the glasses on, that's Tim Simpson. Tim Simpson is a maintenance director at Republic Airways. He comes in and tries to hire our guys. And so when they get finished with their presentation, guys can go right down and talk to him. And then that'll be your first interview with him, okay?
Wow.
Let's go to the next slide. All right, just so you guys know, I'm not joshing you here. This is Allegiant Airways. They're offering kids $40 an hour with just our degree, no experience. Then I put some other posts up here of guys offering jobs for $50 an hour where kids only have 2 years experience. This is the real deal. I'm not capping. I'm not trying to tell a story, okay? These jobs are hiring and they're out here. And so you can get a job in Indiana, and we make good money here in Indiana. But if you go south, you might make five, seven, 10 more dollars on the hour than you make here in Indianapolis. Okay. And so you can keep your options open. You can move all over the country with these skills. Okay, you'll have a national license that says you can work on planes, so you can keep on going to your heart's desire. You're
Okay,
going to
so
be able to
that
vacation more.
so
Go right
that
ahead.
certification that they receive here, they'll be able to use in any state?
They'll be able to use it in any state. It's a national license.
Okay, perfect.
Now, I wanted to put one of the checks here from one of our kids. This is his year 3. He was making 5,000 every 2 weeks. That could be one of your students.
Mhm.
Who's ever looking at this? This could be you. If you'll give me a year and a half of commitment, this could be you at 23. This could be you at 24. This could be you at 25. Okay. But it's very important about the money that's able to be made. You can go to the next slide. This is a check of the young man I first got involved in this program. This is his year 3. He was making 3,900 every 2 weeks. Okay. That's his year 3. Okay. Now, if you go to the next slide, I'll show you his year 4. His year 4 in this industry, he was making $10,000 a month. That can happen by the time you're 24, making $10,000 a month. That buys homes, that buys cars, that buys private school for your kids. That pays for the things you need in your 20s. And like I said, your pay is going to continue to go up. You can go to the next slide. This is one of Taiwan's toys. He has a Nissan Altima, all black, black leather. And then this is one of his toys. He wanted, Brown, I need an old school. I'm like, you don't need that car. Because I'm just thinking, practical. You need a house. You don't need that car. Well, how much was it? It was $8,000. Okay. I asked him, how much do you have in the bank? He said 22,000. I'm like, still, you can go get a house. He said, well, Brown, I'm helping my mother pay her house off. I'm helping my sister go to college. 2 of his brothers were killed, by street violence. He is still going over to their mothers, 2 girls, one is 10 and one is 3. He's still taking money over to their mother's house in the stead of his brothers and giving them money every week. So he was helping everybody. So I couldn't keep on telling him no. So he went and bought this car for 8,000 cash. He had $22,000 in the bank. I don't know many 24, 25-year-olds that have $22,000 in the bank. But if you come in this industry, you can have that kind of money in the bank. That means all kind of emergencies can rise up and you'll be able to pay for it. Next program costs 28,000 for the associate's degree. It costs 23,000 for the certificate. You can go to the next slide. Young men that's working under a plane right there. Go ahead to the next one. We're going to go through a couple slides here. That's working on a helicopter engine. These are the classes you have to take for your power plant. Okay. The next slide will be for the airframe. The next slide. These are the classes you have to take for your airframe license. And then there's some classes below, generals. You can get some of these classes out of the way in high school. Okay. And so you can take college level math and college level English in high school. That's 2 classes you don't have to take on the college side. You can go to the next slide. I want to make sure you guys know this. If you go through our associate program, you will have a job, but we have an opportunity for you to get 2+2. That means you can get an associate's degree here. You'll be automatically accepted into our Purdue program here where you take aviation technology. And so you can get a whole bachelor's degree out of this program. But it will happen while you are working. Okay, so you will have a job. You'll have a job. You will still have a job, and you'll be able to come here 1 day a week after the job and take these Purdue classes. And at the end of 2 years, you'll have a degree. Now, what does this prepare you for? This prepares you for leadership. Now, I'm talking to that person that wants to tell people what to do. Okay. Now, if you just want to go to work, no paperwork, just do your job and go home, that's fine. But if I have anybody that thinks they want to do a 4-year program, come with us. Come and get the 2-year program done and then be automatically accepted to Purdue in our building, 3 classes in person, the rest of it online, and come and get this leadership position for director of maintenance by the time you got 7 years in. Now, the director of maintenance usually needs 10 years of experience. But if you have this degree, you'll be pushed to the front of the line. Okay. And so if you don't like school, a lot of my kids don't want to finish this part. Okay. But if you like school, you need to consider aviation maintenance and then the director of maintenance. Okay. And so that's an opportunity for you to be in leadership. Now,
Mhm.
there are several Latino men that are in leadership. We need women, Latino women in leadership. Why am I pushing this button? Because I know what you can do. I was in high school for 25 years, and I know what you can do. You're brilliant, you're sharp, you're smart, okay? And so nobody's recruiting you but me, okay? I'm recruiting you. Now, there might be some other groups recruiting you, but I'm coming at you hard, okay? Because I know you can do it. Next slide. This is what I'm concerned about. I'm concerned about every American citizen or those that are in this country being able to buy their own home. I'm concerned about them being able to buy the car that they want to drive. I'm concerned about if you get to take a vacation or not. I'm concerned about if you have money in the bank, and I'm concerned if you that you get family time. And so this is a vehicle that I have found, but I will tell you all the trades can get you these pieces right here, your own home, the car you want to drive, vacation, money in the bank, time with your family. The trades can provide that. I'm promoting aviation, but you can get it being an electrician. You can get it being a heavy equipment operator. You can get it in plumbing. Okay. You can get it in bricklaying. You can get it in all those different fields. I'm promoting aviation maintenance. I want you to come over here. I'm recruiting you hard. I want you to come to this school. We have several Latino students here, several, because I recruit them hard and they understand it. As soon as I show them this, they're almost in. It's so good to talk to you guys. I hope to see you in July. I believe that's July the 15th, when we're going to bring at least 30 students. We're going to work that out. As many kids that can sign up for this. We want you to come. I want you to see this program. I believe the weekend before that, so that'll be the 13th. We will probably have a open house that day. You'll see all our planes. You'll be able to come in and get on the simulators. And so I want to see you here. I want you to come to Indianapolis. I want you to come right behind the airport to Vincennes University. We're going to have popcorn. We're going to have ice cream. We're going to have it all. Okay. And then if you come with us on the 15th, we're going to have Latino students here, about 30 of you or whoever applies to come. We're going to have you here, and I'm going to give you a tour of this building, and I'm going to show you my passion for this field, and I'm going to try to get you to sign up.
Awesome. So much, Ben. Before we wrap up, I was wondering if I could just ask you some really quick questions, just in case,
Go right
students
ahead.
just need a really quick place to find the answers. So, yes or no, do you need prior experience?
You don't have to have prior experience. We'll teach you.
Okay, perfect. How long does the program take?
18 months, so just a year and a half for our certification program, 22 months for the associate's degree.
Perfect. Is there any financial aid available?
We are on FAFSA, and we're on the next level jobs list.
Okay,
So you can
perfect.
take advantage of the Pell Grant and the next level jobs grant.
Okay, wonderful. Well, thank you so much for sharing all this information, Ben. We truly are so grateful to you and for being the first organization to step up and start this trade school series. We find it very important to give our students all of the options. So thank you so much for taking the time and through all those technical difficulties to help us out and set this out. Like Ben mentioned, students, we will be taking a group of students in did we say June, July?
July the
In
15th.
July, on July 15th to go visit the VU Aviation Center here in Indianapolis. We are really excited about that. You guys will be getting more information about that pretty soon once we start rolling all our summer experiences. So just be on the lookout for that. But yeah, just thank you so much, Ben. We really appreciate you. And then we have Ben's information on there as well. If you guys want to reach out to him and ask him any questions, please feel free to do so. But yeah, that wraps up our first session. Thank you so much, Ben.